Introduce to you the 87th player inducted into the Billiard Congress Hall of Fame, the South Dakota Kid, Captain America, my pumpkin, Mr. Shane Van Allen.
What an amazing view here. So many people here. I heard it's the biggest Hall of Fame that ever happened in 20 years. And I just can't really believe it. So, it is with gratitude and a bit of disbelief that I stand before you today accepting this honor induction into the BCA Hall of Fame. As I look out into this wonderful crowd of friends, family, competitors, and fans, I am reminded of the journey that has led me here. A journey marked not just by personal achievements, but the countless moments of competition and passion for this game we all love. I am honored and humbled to have the opportunity to be in the Hall of Fame with my longtime friend, Mark Griffin, Mike Knowles. I'd like to thank the Billiards of Congress America for my induction and their continued support for the game. And I just want to talk about Mike Pinova. It's pretty crazy that you've been doing this for 44 years. I think that's very unbelievable, and I appreciate everything you do for the sport. Maybe 20 minutes. I'm actually very excited to be here, by the way, and I was a little bit nervous before we walked into the door, but I'm feeling more relaxed at the moment. First of all, I want to say thank you to Jason Ware for the introduction to the Hall of Fame. And love you too, Pumpkin. I want to start by remembering my close friend and who can't be with us tonight to celebrate this special occasion. Jack Coleman, June 15, 2012. Cecil Coons, July 15, 2020. Mark Griffin, January 13, 2023. Tim Paget, February 15, 2023. My grandfather, Gary Bloomberg, December 11, 2023. Kenny Brisbane from Detroit, February 29, 2024. And my loving grandparents and my Uncle Greg from South Dakota. I trade most anything to watching, and I know you're proud, but I really want you to know that I wouldn't be here without you. All right. All right. Yeah, I'm good. So, I want to talk about what does it mean to be in the Hall of Fame. Well, it's a lot. So, one day I got the phone call from Mike Peloso in the summertime. I was fishing on the lake, and I got a phone call from him. Was it from you? Yeah, it was from you. So anyway, I got a phone from him, right? And he called me and he said, "You probably know why I'm calling." I said, "Yeah, I'm Bobby and inducted into the Hall of Fame." And he said, "Congratulations," and I said, "Thank you." And he also told me that Mark Griffin and Mike Peloso was going to be in the Hall of Fame as well. And I was like, yeah, that was the icing on the cake. So I hung up the phone and I put my fishing pole down and I'm just sitting in the chair in my boat and I'm looking in the sky and I'm thinking about all the time that I played pool, how I started playing pool, all the tournaments that I played, all the players that I had to play, all the headache that I have to deal with, the players. You know, it's pretty amazing to see where I came from South Dakota. And it's pretty amazing to see that anybody from South Dakota is going to be one of the top pool players from all over the world. And here I am, Hall of Fame. I want to share a couple of stories that happened to me when I was younger. Most of the people don't really know that my road to professional pool wasn't exactly in a straight line. But here's a few stories. And one of the stories that happened to me many years ago, I must say that happened to me probably when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, if I can remember. I was coming home from school and I was on a bus, and there was a kid picking on me like pretty hard, and he made me cry. So I'm walking home, and I go in my bedroom and I lock the door, and I sat in my bed, and I'm crying and crying. And then my mom comes home, and she knew there was something wrong. So then, hours later, my mom asked me, "You want to go to the pool?" I said, "Yeah, I want to go to the pool." So she took me to the pool, and then when I got to the pool, my grandfather pool in Rapid City, South Dakota, she took me to the pool and I opened the door and I see all the people in the pool, and all I see was happiness, love, and peace. And this is when I realized that there's no place better than being in the pool. And that's where I started to fall in love with pool. Pool is always going to be a great place to be. If you're down, if you're not happy, then you go to the pool and you change your life. So, and that was the story when I fell in love. and then it continued when I got older. I graduated from high school, and my mom was at the school with all the teachers, and I told my mom, I don't want to go to graduation. And she said, why? She said, I don't want to graduate with all the bullies that were picking on me. And my teachers got kind of upset about it, that my teachers wanted me to be there and go to graduation. I said, I don't want to go. So my mom took me to Vegas in 2002. I didn't walk down the aisle. Then I go to Vegas, and if I can remember, I got second in the team international champion with my teammates, fellow teammates. And then a few years later, in 2003, 2004, I won the VNA Nationals, Masters, and 2004 I won the VNA Nationals again. And Greg Elliott, the president of VNA, he said, you can't no longer play at the VNA, you're too good. All right, I said, thank you for the message. And now he's sponsoring me today. So that was history from there. 2004, I never played any amateur events. And then I went back home and had a conversation with my Uncle Mike. And Mike said, congratulations, you won the VNA. And I remember what he said. He said, well, you won the national, but you're still a chump. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, all the players that you played in the Nationals, if you can compare to all the players around the America, the U.S., there's so many great players in the U.S. And he's like, well, I'm going to take you on the road. And we're going to go to Texas. He said, all right. And I said, okay, let's go. So then I went to Texas, Dallas, Texas. That was our first road trip that I went. And the first guy that I played in Dallas, Texas was Roger Griffiths. He's a well-known player from Texas, one of the top players. Some of you might have heard of him, but he walked in the pool room with sunglasses on. And I was like, this guy's scary. Right? And I'm like shaking. And my uncle told me, you gotta play him. He's the best in the city. I'm like, all right. So I played Roger Griffith for $50 a game, and I broke even with him for 2 days. Right? Yeah. So then, me and my uncle went on the road for probably about 6 months. We went to Tennessee, we went to Carolinas, we went to Florida. And I played everybody. I played Tony Washington. Tony Washington was a great player back in the days. And played John Hennessy, Bobby Bickle, a few other good players. So then one day, I never forget this. So one day I was in Tennessee, right? And I played a guy there, and we were playing for $5,000, right? We're playing 7 events for $5,000. I got the guy losing, and he got a shot, and he was about to scratch, right? He picked up the cue ball, hit the table, and hit it. I'm like, what the heck? Right? So then, there was a bunch of people in the pool, and they all started panicking and whatever, right? And we had to stop the match for like 30 minutes. And we had to talk to guys to calm down and whatever, right? And then he come back to the table. I finished the set. I won the set and took all the money, and we hit the road and go back home. I told my uncle, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I don't wanna go on the road anymore. I don't wanna hustle people anymore. I just can't do it anymore. It's just too dangerous. So then I went back home and started practicing and get ready to play professional tournaments. So then in 2005, I met my friends in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and they said, we need to get you ready to go play professional tournaments. And I said, yeah, let's do it. So I got a guy named Chuck Moss. He's like my financial advisor. And he said, I'm gonna pay for your trip to Taiwan, 2005 World Championship. It's the first tournament that I went to. I had to go play the qualifier, right? I got in the finals of the qualifier 2 times, and I lost to Lee Van Cortesia and some other Filipinos out there. I was like 1 game short to get into the main stage of the main event. I'm like, damn it. So Wu Cha-Ching won the World Championship. He was the youngest player to ever win the World Championships. And that was quite a good experience. And then just share a few stories later on in the years. I wanted to mention that I played the longest money match I ever played in my whole career. I played Scott Frost one day. And we played for 32 hours, 1 set. 32 hours. We saw the sunrise 2 times. We were in Vegas at the pool, and we were just battling out. This is the best one-pocket match you will ever see in your life. I promise you. Me and Scott played the best, perfect match ever. It was unbelievable, right? I never forget that, Scott.
Who won?
We broke even after the third round.
I gave you 9-8.
I got on the hill first, like 45 minutes, and then he got on the hill for 30 hours straight. And finally, I got him tired and got back to even, and I looked at him and I said, we need to quit, man. One of us is gonna die in the pool. And he said, yeah, we need to quit. Never forget it. Give me a second here. All right, back in my early days, I want to mention a guy that I met, right? This was in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I met a guy whose name was Chap Holman, and he was one of my biggest mentors in my career, right? And I'm gonna tell you a story that happened to me one night. I was in the pool, and I was playing $50 a game with a guy, right? And I was about 20, I think I was about 21, 22, right? Played a guy for 50 a game, and I was being a little arrogant, cocky, right? And I was being a little smart ass to the guy. Chad gets out of the chair. I watched Chad get out of the chair. He's 400 pounds. 6'4", right? He picked me up like a pencil and held me against the wall. He said, don't you ever do that again. And he made me cry in the pool. I mean, there were people watching, and he made me cry in the pool. Right? And I just felt so bad, right? And then later that night, we were talking about respecting your opponents, respecting the game. And I had a long conversation with him, and I never forget this. Ever since that day, I had never disrespected any of my opponents. And I just can't do it. I can never shut my opponents either. It's just never gonna get me. Alright. Just a second here. I lost track. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything, so I'm gonna go through it real quick. Okay. So here's another story that happened to me in Phoenix, Arizona, in 2007. I came to Arizona and I stayed out at a friend's house, right? And there was a tournament at Bull Shoots, if I remember the name of the bar. And there was a tournament there, right? And I see Jeremy Jones and Billy Palmer in the finals. And I didn't make it. I got in the semifinals to the loss, right? And that's when I met Mark Griffin. And then I had a conversation with Mark Griffin, and he said that he wanted to put me into the ESPN BCA pool.com, whatever, in Vegas in 2007. So he gave me a spot. And then I got in the finals against Dennis O'Connell, and that was my first major tournament for ESPN. And what I wanted to mention is, if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have done so well in 2007. So what happened is I got in the finals in 2007 ESPN, and then I went to Florida, won the international pinball tournament in Florida, went back to Vegas, got in the finals again. And then after that, I won the US Open in 2007. So what I wanted to mention about Mark Griffin is he is one of a kind guy that I met. And I will always remember him, what he had done for me, my career. And he's one heck of a guy. Just a second. Right. And that is the whole story for my whole career. So, So the question is that how I become committed? No. Not the crazy kind of committed, but I committed to structuring my life to be the professional pool player I could. And I say, I think it worked out pretty good. So I just wanted to mention a few people, and so many people in this room, and many of the people I wish were here tonight were so supportive and important to my life playing professional pool. I want to thank all of you. And I wanted to mention a few people, of course, Chap Bowman. And Chap Bowman was on the phone with me when I won the US Open in 2007. He was on the phone with me every single match. After I won the match, he called me and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm practicing." He said, "Good." And then right before the match, he said, "Who do you play?" I said, "That didn't matter. I'm gonna beat you." Right? So every match, he's kept me motivated. And then I won the US Open in 2007. So I just want to say thank you, Chad Coleman, for what you a kind of person you are. And what I've learned about Chad, he is 400 pounds, 6'4", right? But what I've learned about him is that he is never afraid in life. And I think that's important. You shouldn't have to be afraid of anything. And that was a big motivation. And I want to mention Jim here, Jim McNinney from South Dakota. He is one of my longest time friends. He knew me when I was born. And if you can stand up real quick. And what I want to talk about him is that he's one of the people that made a big difference in my life. And what happened back in the days is that when I was younger, 13, 14, 15 years old, he would pick me up every week, go play pool league, and go play pool tournament. Every single week, and then he would take me back home. And he's one of those people that is very respectable in my hometown, Rapid City. And I just want to say thank Jim for a man he is, kind, generous, loving person for me and my family. I also want to mention there's a guy named Mike Homer from Denver, Colorado. And he's a heck of a guy too. So back in my days, 2007, about 2005, I went to Denver and I went to hang out with him. He's a good pool player. And I learned about pool, learned more about pool. And he's one of the nicest guys that I met. And I just want to say thank you to Mike Homer for helping me through my younger days. I also want to mention Mark Griffin. I've known Mark Griffin for many years. I want to say thank you for being a good friend for many years. And thank you for giving the opportunity to all the players to have tournaments. And I've won so many tournaments when he had them, and he would spend a great time with him. Even though he's not here, I'm always thinking about him. I also want to mention Sean Lawson here. You can stand up if you want. There is a pool room that my grandfather owned since 1986, and that's when he started the pool room. And then there was a couple owners here and there. And then recently, in the last, I think it was 4 years ago, that he bought the pool room, and he kept it going. And I want to say thank you from your support of the game in Rapid City to your hard work and care keeping for my family pool room open for almost 40 years now. Thank you.
Teaching you how to catch the fish.
And he did teach me how to fish too. I want to mention John Morris. You can stand up if you want. My friend, my state force, our biggest bass have to be against Efren in 2012. And I never forget this. I played Eflin in Derby City Classic in 2012. I was walking around in the hallway and I see Eflin. I said, Eflin, you want to play something? He's like, yeah, I want to play. And he asked me, what do you want to do? I said, yeah, let's play some tempo. So his state course over there, and we played a big set for almost 50,000. Pretty close. Race to 21, right? We go upstairs in Derby City, right? We go upstairs, we get this table, and this is the only table in the whole room just running, right? All the other tables just turned off, all the people in there watching. And there was probably well over a couple hundred people in there, I said. And I never forget this. It's just, it was an amazing night to play against Eflin. And John put me in the game. We went 21 to 18. Never forget this. But the biggest match we ever had was just recently. I don't want to say this, but we played against Federer Gorse. Federer, I love you, but I got you. Now, let me tell you about this match. It was the most unbelievable match I have ever played in my whole career. And I just want to say, Federer, thank you for giving me the opportunity to play. It was just an amazing event that we did. And you're an unbelievable, talented pool player that I have seen in so many years. I want to mention Don Portra and Randy Pelton. I want to thank you for our friendship all these years, and I know we all miss Kenny Brisbane as well. Just a second. Hey, I'm not crying, so that's good. I'm actually having fun with this. I don't really miss it. To the promoters, without you, how many titles would there be to chase? I am beyond thankful for all my titles, the U.S. Opens. We miss you, Barry Burton. And the best promoter in the world that meant to me to finally win the World Championship, National Tour 2022. That was probably the happiest day of my life. I finally get the monkey off my shoulder, okay? Winning the World Championship is something else. It's just not a better feeling. And to win the World A Ball, the World Pool Masters, the World Cup Pool, it's a long list. And so many other titles. And a special thanks to the biggest promoter in the pool today, Emily Frazier, Barry Hearn, and the mastering team. The biggest event of the year starts tomorrow. And can you believe I'm playing the 18th consecutive years for my player? I am really honored to join my team and my friends, fellow friends, Sky, Billy, Tyler, and new friend, Peter. when you come and I want to say thank you for your friendship. To the fans, none of this would be possible without the fans, of course. And I want to say a big thank you to all the fans for their continued support around the world. It means a lot, especially when the roles are stacked against you. I also like to thank all my sponsors. Your unwavering support has helped me chase down the titles and the dream. Now, I just wanted to share a short story of what happened and how I got started with the sponsors deal, right? So I was self-employed in 2007, running into 2007. I was never sponsored by anybody. So I went to the U.S. Open. And then I go home and see my grandfather. And my grandfather was like, hey, I got something important to talk to you. And I said, okay. So then I went to talk to him. He said, Q-Tech wanted to reach out to you and do an agreement. I was like, all right. So then, this is when I met Tim Patrick, who passed away a few years ago, February 15, 2023. And he was a great guy. I got to know him. He worked for Q-Tech. And ever since that day when I talked to him about getting an agreement with Q-Tech, and this is where I moved forward to get on the team with Q-Tech. So then I flew to China and I met with Jones, the president of Q-Tech. And I never forget this, and I signed the contract, and I joined the Q-Tech team in 2008. And I just wanted to share my experience with Team Q-Tech. It's been one heck of a ride, 17 years, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else. Just want to say thank you to Jones, Lenny, Brett, Kyle, and Zach the Motor of the Imperial family. I want to say thank you to the restaurant tables from China. I want to say thank you to the VNEA, Greg and Brian Elliott. I want to say thank you to Howard Tips, Andy Clark, Andy and Jenny from China. I also want to say thank you to Fort Worth Billiards from Dallas, Texas. And I also want to say thank you to Onboard Team. It has been a quiet adventure all these years playing professional pool, traveling around the world, sometimes competing in places that I haven't even heard of growing up. And I've been to 70 countries, which is unbelievable. I never thought I was going to travel to 70 countries. It's amazing. And I want to share a short story of what happened to me with my grandfather. This happened to me many years ago before I started becoming really good in 2007, right? So in 2006, I was at home, right, and I met up with my grandfather. We go to the pool room, and he's like, Shane, you need to start breaking better. I said, what are you talking about? He said, you need to start breaking like my seat, right? And he was trying to explain to me on the table that you need to pop the cue ball. And this is what you were known for, popping the cue ball. And that was the best break in 9. I'm like, all right, I'll try. So he started racking the balls, and I started breaking, and after the third round, I get that cue ball going. Just like that, right? It was beautiful. And I'll never forget this moment with my grandfather in the pool room. And ever since that day, I started practicing my break and got it down. And I started robbing people in 2007. It's just freaking beautiful. Give me a second. All right. I'm feeling pretty good. The wine helps. All right. To all the people from my home, South Dakota, I want to say thank you to all my friends from South Dakota for your love and support. Most importantly, to my mom, Timmy Bloomer. Shimmy. You know, when I was younger in my days, you know, when I was about 3 or 4 years old, I used to call her Shimmy, not Timmy. Most importantly to my mom, Timmy Bloomer, and stepfather and family, you have always been my biggest supporter. Without my family, my Uncle Joe, Uncle Lamar, Uncle Mike, Uncle Jay, sister, all my cousins, my loving grandparents, and the most important people in my life is my grandfather, Gary Bloomberg. Without all of you, I wouldn't be here today, and that is facts. I love you all. I need to thank my extended family, Jason and Michelle Weir. Sean Gamoni and family. Billy Severa. We are more than friends for a long time and love all of you. Also want to mention many friends in the U.S. and around the world for continuous support and friendship. I'm sure I haven't thanked everyone. I should. I'm trying not to miss everyone. But as you guys know, I got something to do tomorrow. But please know, I am forever grateful to this game and to everyone that has been part of my journey. Go USA. Is anybody crying? No? He is. Sean Gamoni. And to my loving girlfriend. We have been together for a year, over a year. I want to also thank her for support to my career. Love you.
Love you.
One second. I am almost done, I promise.
For 1 hour.
Yeah.
20.
Okay. Nope, okay. All right. This is to my fellow pool players that have played all these years. To all the players and my opponents over the years, thank you for pushing me to my limits. Each game, whether a victory or a defeat, was a lesson. You taught me that sometimes the most important shot is the one that you make when you're under pressure. When the game hangs in balance and when your heart is racing. I want to thank all the players around the world and my opponents. We had battles together, all the laughs we had together, all the anger we had together, and all the frustration we shared together. This is how we make memories together. Much love to all the pool players around the world, and thank you for being who you are. Now, I'm going to tell you a short story. And you're going to crack up on this one. So this happened in Derby City Classic, right? 9-ball division. I think it happened 6-7 years ago, right? So we're in the final, probably 12 in the Derby City, right? And I threw Jason Shaw, right? So this tournament, right, is wrap your own at the time. There was no template, right? So there's just always, frustration going on because people were cheating on the rack and whatever. A lot of people were doing it, right? So I threw Jason Shaw in Derby City, and he's racking the balls. He's up 3-0, and there's nothing I can do, right? And then he missed a shot. I get up to the table, and I ran 6 racks in a row. I wrapped the balls. I'm getting ready to break. He grabs his phone and goes up to the table and take a picture of my rack. He said, cheater, cheater, cheater. Right? Right, yeah. So anyway. So that was the frustration part of the game that we deal with for many years, and it's okay. As long as we don't fight, it's okay. So a couple months later, we apologized together, and we're still friends. It's all good, whatever. But then, another story, right? I met up with Alex Lion, and I saw him a couple months ago. He said, congratulations to the Hall of Fame. I said, thank you. And he said something. He started talking with me, and I knew he was going to start saying something to me. He said, I created you, you know that, right? I said, what do you mean? And he's like, well, after all the matches that we played, you would never be in the Hall of Fame because of me. I said, you know what, you're probably right. And I said, I want to thank you for that too. I love him. He's a great guy. All right. This is pretty close to my last statement. I want to make sure I got everything. Before I go on to my last statement, I want to I want to mention Mark Griffin, Barry Berman. I appreciate all the love you gave to the players for having many tournaments in the West. My friends, I will miss you both, and as long as I live, you both will never be forgotten. And to my last statement before I state my last statement, tonight I want to say this is unforgettable experience, something that I will never forget in my life, something that I will talk about forever, as long as I live. Personally, I want to thank you all for being here. Amen. And I'm telling you, it's unbelievable what I see here. I promise you, I will never forget this. And it's incredible, the most incredible feeling to be inducted into the Hall of Fame and what you've done to the sport. And it's just been amazing, really.
We love you, Mom.
It's my last one. I'd like to close with some advice for the next generation of players. Life will always have up and downs. We all must stay positive to move forward and to get better. Over my countless years of playing professional pool, I've learned a few certain truths. Life on the table and life off the table have one thing in common: choices. And I never forget this. I had this conversation with my grandfather when I was about 13, 14 years old, and I never forget this moment. It was the best advice I could ever gotten through my whole life. On the pool table, we're not perfect, but we need to try to make the right choices to run out, get saved, win the game, or win the championships. Off the table, the odds are we won't be perfect either, but again, we must make the right choices. My grandfather and I had a conversation many, many years ago. Each of us decided every day when we wake up who we are going to be. Will you be successful? Will you be kind and generous to the people around you? Will you work hard? Will you be dedicated despite life up and downs? Make good choices, work hard, stay in shape, be thankful, and love the game. Remember, no matter where you go in pool, we always make memories together. Love and peace to you all. Amen.